Hey everyone, I'm guessing a lot of you got the SHARE S20 LiDAR scanner from last year's Kickstarter campaign. And in this video, I will be testing the scanner by 3D scanning these fire escape stairs. I will head down 7 floors and then loop back to where I started. I need to make 4 turns on each floor while scanning. Counting the trip down and back, that adds up to 56 turns in total. After that, I check the scan data and see if there is any rotational drift error. Okay, I have reached the 10th floor and now I'm heading back up to the 17th floor. The SLAM LiDAR scanner lets you capture multiple floors in a single pass without needing to merge scans. It also shows the floor-to-floor elevation and the alignment of the underfloor structures, something other survey tools can't do. In my client projects, I have scanned buildings up to 5 floors tall. The main limitation is time, so I usually keep each session under 20 minutes. If the scan takes longer than that, I will just split it into 2 sessions. Okay, now I have made it to the starting point and closed the loop. Alright, this scan took 5 minutes and 30 seconds with a total distance of 166 meters. And from the phone's preview screen, the staircase looks perfectly straight across all axes. For comparisons and to burn a few extra calories, I also scan the same spot with the SHARE S20 so we can line up the results. Okay, one tip when scanning with SHARE's LiDAR: don't tilt the scanner. If you tilt it more than like 10 degrees, a warning pops up, and if you keep going, the scan might fail. So if you are trying to clear blind spots on the floor in tight spaces, the only way is to squat down. So if you have got a bad knee, you might want to ask someone younger to handle it for you. This scan took about 30 seconds longer, probably because I was tired. Still, the staircase looks straight across all axes on the preview screen. Okay, before we dive into the result, SHARE has rolled out a major update for the C1. After updating the firmware and mobile app, the C1 can now collect control points just like the SHARE S20. So once you have collected at least 4 control points in one overlap area, you can align 2 scan sessions together with precision. When you open the rubber cover on top of the C1, you will see a communication port. At first, I thought it was just a dummy, but it's actually an extension port for the RTK module. SHARE now sells the RTK module bundle with the base plate for $599 US on their website, and viewers from this channel can grab a 10% discount code from the description. I was told the RTK module is plug and play, doesn't need any tools, and should perform just like the SHARE S20. To collect control points, you also need a positioning base plate. SHARE doesn't sell it separately from the RTK module, so if you only need the base plate, you will have to 3D print one yourself. In the next video, I will 3D scan and reverse engineer the base plate so you can get a 3D printed version for free. Once you have got the base plate ready, place 4 marks on the floor in the overlapping area, either with a 3D printed checkerboard or some bright tape, then correct the coordinates to align with the second scan session. Now let's check out the staircase result. One on the left, you will see the SHARE S20 in darker colors, and on the right the C1 shows up brighter. Next, I will check the floor levels using the edge of my monitor. Even with 7 floors stacked up about 17 meters tall, both scanners show each level staying perfectly parallel, and the staircase stays straight in both scans. Fire escape walls need at least a 2-hour fire rating, so they are built thick. This one is a 300mm heat-resistant brick wall, and it should be the last structure to collapse in a fire. When measuring the height across 6 floors, the difference between the two scans is only 40mm or about 0.2%. You wouldn't even get that level of accuracy using the same total station. Another way to check the scan precision is by looking at how sharp the color point cloud appears. On the left, that's the C1, and on the right, the S20. If you look at the green floor number sign, the S20 gives a slightly sharper, crisper image. That's thanks to its better camera sensor in low light conditions. I walked past each floor number sign twice during both scans, so the scanner lined up the color pixels perfectly on the way down and back up the stairs. You can also see how sharp the door frame edges look. In this test, both the C1 and S20 did equally well when scanning multiple floors. Next, I will run another test by scanning a larger hallway, 14 by 18 meters, across 2 floors, walking through a very narrow fire exit door. That kind of setup can cause rotational drift errors in most LiDAR scanners. Afterward, I will measure the floor-to-floor distance to check if the alignment stays parallel. Okay, starting with the C1, since the hallway isn't that wide, I will position myself right at the center of the walkway. And if the door you are entering happens to be closed, just push it open with your back and step into the next room moving backward. Here, the exit door was closed too, so I push it open while moving backward and step out. Outside, the area has taller walls and a handrail for tracking, so you just walk forward. With the door left opened, I will orient the scanner toward the hallway walls as reference features, then move backward to transition into the stairwell. When walking out, I point the scanner toward the stairwell and move backward through the exit. For comparison, I also ran the same scan using the SHARE S20. Just remember, when you are entering a narrow door, keep the scanner pointed toward a feature. And when you are exiting into a larger area, walk sideways so the scanner can partially capture the space outside. And when you are turning in a tight space, make sure to turn slowly. With a bit of practice, I'm confident anyone can handle this 3D scanner. Now let's take a look at the result. Checking the floor-to-floor distance will show which scanner has led drifting error. I cropped both scans to show only the walkway along 2 axes. Then measure the floor-to-floor distance at both ends. S20 is on the right and C1 is on the left. And if you check the floor-to-floor distance from the S20 along the y-axis, the deviation is only 13mm. And along the x-axis walkway, the floor-to-floor deviation is also very small, just 20mm. Moving to the C1, the floor-to-floor deviation along the y-axis is 35mm 22mm more earlier than the S20. For the X-axis walkway, the floor-to-floor measurement shows a deviation of 38mm, which is 18mm greater than the earlier recorded with the S20. The results line up with the IMU sensors used in each scanner. The S20 uses the higher precision ICM 45686, while the C1 relies on the integrated ICM 40609. In situations requiring entry through very narrow passage, the S20 demonstrated superior accuracy. Thanks you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.